This is the Bar Stewards Enquiry.
Right? You're talking absolute rubbish. Absolute rubbish.
In what way?
You were an underachiever in life. I saved your bacon one time. You were gone.
You handled that well. I couldn't save you. But you did the right thing.
But that's why you don't know anything about racing, John.
I didn't say I do.
Right?
I'm saying that...
What have you contributed to racing? You're one of these take-out merchants. Take out all you can.
A very warm welcome to the final Bar Stewards Enquiry show of 2022. And we've got some very, very interesting racing to cover for the New Year's Eve. Hope you're going out making merry in the evening and you make plenty tomorrow from our selections. Before I get on with the show and announce our panellists, I'd just like to say don't forget to tune in for the sermon on the New Year's Day evening. It'll be a corker because we've got plenty to talk about. The kilt retiring. There's lots and lots of topics, including a special sort of chat on mental health for the year ahead. And it's going to be an absolute corker. First one in. And I promise you, it's one not to be missed. So don't miss the Sunday sermon, as always, out around about 7:30 on Sunday evening. Okay, joining me tonight for this fantastic last edition of the Bar Stewards is John Lane. Good evening, John.
Good evening. You got me hopes up there, Lee, when you said the last Bar Stewards Enquiry, and then you 2022.
Yeah, this was the very last one. Yeah. 2 years we've been going now. It's not bad. We've done well over 250 episodes. We can talk for England. We talk absolute rubbish, which is great. And joining us as well tonight to talk more rubbish, but provide us hopefully some winning bets, are the dynamic duo, Neville and Quentin Franks. Good evening, chaps.
Good evening,
Lee.
Good evening, Quentin.
We're so excited.
Neville.
So excited to get this show on the road. So, again, new listeners, I always just like to mention this. The first round is 1, 2, and 3 points. It's our best bets for Saturday. And then we go on to discuss the televised action for you addicted to ITV racing, out there, which there are about 4 of you. So anyway, on to round 1 where it's the 1 pointers. I'm coming to Quentin Franks because I could foresee some desert action tomorrow from Quentin.
Plenty of desert action, Lee. I'm going to kick it off in the 12:55 at Lingfield, 10 furlong nursery. Don't really like much in the race, to be honest. Raintown's been putting jolly, kind of feel he's a bit short. The second favourite, I think that day's a bit doggy, hung across the Jardine horse. Berwick Law hangs left and just not really convinced by her yet. Victory House is slow. Emperor Zen, I like him. The time was poor last time out, but physically he's fine and will improve for the trip. But I'm not sure he's going to get the pace set up here. Also, I'm going to have my 1 point in his Grand Central. Liked him as a physical. They were kind of getting him fit on the race course when he was with Clive Cox. Got a mark of 76. He hasn't shown much in handicaps to date, but there was signs of life at Windsor, keeping on. I felt the ground was a bit quick for him that day. But the gear's off this time, the knackers are off, and I think 70 is a fair mark. Grace McEntee even. Holly Doyle's on, good record on the sand for the yard, 8 from 41, 1.2 actual over expected. And just the ones above him in the market seem a little bit too short to my eye. 18 to 1 with Bet365, 16s across the board. Thinking due course, there's physical progression from him, and a mark of 70 looks within his reach.
Good stuff. I like the reasoning. And Holly Doyle on board. She was big in Japan. Great song that way. Alphaville. Yeah, who doesn't like that one? Holly Doyle, just back from Japan.
I've got on vinyl, that song.
What a song. Oh, on vinyl, Nev. I mean, it'd be worth something now, haven't it?
Yeah.
What these vinyls you speak of?
Oh, I know. I know Quentin's in the Young Brigade anyway. But this is tremendous, Nev. I mean, we must have an Alphaville evening,
It's the only song I know by them. I've seen it on YouTube though, the song.
Yeah, nice.
Just say yours haircut in the 80s, Nev.
Yeah, I had like Bonnie Tyler had.
Yeah.
Loving that. Yeah, 18s then Grand Central. That's with the Port Vale Hartlet. Harlot for Quentin to kick us off. Juicy price, Quentin. Thanks for that. Jonas Lang, I'm coming to you for your 1 pointer.
Right, this is fairly straightforward. Jockeys at 143.
Yeah.
Mr. Who. I think the trainer must be quite happy with the mark this he's got. He's going straight in the handicaps. After a nice win at Lingers, where the horse impressed me really, showed admirable battling qualities, I thought, and still very much unexposed. I think could benefit from handy tactics here as well. Ridden handy last time. The race doesn't look over-blessed on the front end early on, and this type of track lends itself to being handy, I always think. I'll be very disappointed if he can't hit the frame, but I'm in the spirit of Christmas, I'm going straight win anyway, 1 point win.
Straight 1 point win on the nose. Thrasher Bass in the saddle as well for you, John. You know,
yes.
he doesn't miss. Yeah, to Dave Bass, and that's 10-1 with Paddy Power.
Dave Bass of the PJA.
Yes, absolutely. Good stuff. So 18s and 10s to kick us off on these 1 pointers. I'm liking where this is going so far. Nev Ender, can you continue the big prize 1 pointers?
I think I probably can, although it might be a little bit shorter than the two that we've just heard about.
Yeah.
In the 225 at Newbury, it's the Coral Racing Club Mandarin Handicap Chase. It's a 0 to 135, yet the prize money to the winner is less than £13,000, which is pretty disappointing, but it's attracted a good field. The top weight is a horse I really like, under supervision of Nigel Twiston-Davies's. He only seems to run at Cheltenham these days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of his last 8 starts have been at Cheltenham, and his first run for over 240 days last time out was a real good reappearance. He didn't jump particularly well, and it looked like he was going to drop out the back of the television, but he actually stayed on, and in the circumstances only performed really well to be beaten less than 6 lengths off today's or tomorrow's rating of 136. He's lightly raced, he's open to improvement, as he's only set foot on a race course on 11 previous occasions. I don't think those beneath him in the handicap are any great shakes, but obviously it's a big field, so you have to tread a bit warily. I felt as if the ground might just have been a bit quick for him at Cheltenham, and the slower surface tomorrow ought to help. And I think he's a class horse. He certainly will be a good staying handicapper in a year or two's time. Remember, he's only going to be 7 in a couple of days' time, so he's still a young horse with open to improvement. I'm actually going to go each way. I'm sorry about this, but it's a big field. It's a big field, and I can imagine someone improving beneath him and maybe just doing him for the victory. But under supervision's my first of my 3 best bets this weekend.
Do you know what? You've really spoilt yourself there, because this is also I like as well, and he broke my heart last year when I went balls deep on Mr. Malarkey at Doncaster in the Grimthorpe, and he outdid him. And this horse, Nev, I think will improve physically, keep improving, because he is quite a big frame. He's one of these that I do think he's just going to get that bit better. Definitely better than 136 when he puts it together. But he definitely going each way.
No bollocks, put it all on the wing.
That's what we like. We can't.
I heard somebody say in the background, "wank," and that made me mind it.
Our listeners actually say when Neville says the word masturbate, in slang terms, they find it quite therapeutic, and that's where your nickname as the vicar has come from, because that's how ththey'd expect a vicar to say wank.
Doesn't sound like a filthy act, does it?
It doesn't sound a filthy act. When Nev says it sounds like more like a
country, isn't it? Doing some grass rubbings.
Oh, good God.
Yeah, we'll go win only on him then, under supervision.
Win only 8 with the Entain lot, Simon Clare and his absolute gaggle of bandits, and the formerly named Magic Sign, no longer the Magic Sign. The signs fell off, but 8-1 with those two. If you can get on with those, and that's 1 point win for Nev. I like that horse, and I hope it does the business for Nev In the Mandarin Chase, the Mandarin Chase used to attract some quality Gold Cup types, didn't it, back in the day?
Do you know, I've got a horse. I had a horse entered to run on Sunday at Fakenham, and 0 to 110. First prize was over £10,000. This is a 0 to 35, 12,800 to the winner. It's Newbury ought to be ashamed of themselves.
Yeah,
Fakenham can put on prize money like they are doing this Sunday, and Newbury. It's a big weekend for them. You know, New Year's Eve, and they're putting poor prize money on.
Yeah, they've gone down.
It always has been a good race over the years. There's probably not too many class acts in it this year.
No.
Although maybe under supervision could be one.
Who knows? But yeah, Newbury's
safe now. We've had Tom Munt of the year, don't we?
yeah, absolutely. We've done the Cotty Awards last week, which of course was a dead heat. Newbury Racecourse seriously are sinking to low levels. They've sold the land, they build houses on it, and they pass none of the proceeds and profits onto the patrons. Which again, it's just greed, evil, greedy track.
Well, a race boycotted this flat season, weren't they, at Newbury?
Yeah. Yes, for that reason. They were putting the bottom minimum prize money.
For a Fillies maiden or something, wasn't it?
For a Grade 1 track is just unforgivable.
This is it. We want more militant action like this. Get Mick Lynch in charge of the NTF.
Yeah. Well, I watched Karen at Your Convenience the other day, and that's where it's the toilet factory, and then literally it's just one little thing, and he takes them all out on strike. That's what we want here. Strike. Let's Let's sort them out. So Newbury, terrible. That's a mention, a bad mention for the course. You might be nominated next year in the Cotties Newbury Racecourse. Anyway, on to finish the round, kicking on for me again. It's a big price selection, and it's one that's It could end up being 4 or 5 to 1 on the off. It might be sort of 50s. But Lucky So and So it's called, which I'm not. 135 at Warwick. It's the 3.25 mile Poundland Handicap hurdle, the Challenger Stayers Hurdle Series. The final. And this is the one where the stewards had them in at Exeter on the. I think it was the. It was when it was was it last time fourth, either fourth when it was fourth or third, I can't remember because I haven't got my phone book in front of me. But this is one that honestly, this looks a really well handicapped horse, but it's whether it's D-Day. They might have it 70%. It might be fat, and then it's a waste of time. But it's going to be better than 112. I'm absolutely certain of that. So it's a massive price. It's been nibbled at in the betting, but that could be just people guessing, like me, Gus the guesser. And it's 22 to 1, I believe, still, and that's with again the lovely Port Vale firm. Offering 22s, and that's where my 1 point win will go. Like I say, it'll either be 6s or it'll be 48s on the machine with all the bandits just laying it for the reckies, that no, it's not busy. But that's how it goes. And so that completes the 1 point round. Right, Quentin, I'm going to come back to you again to kick us off for the 2 point round.
My 2 point bet league comes in the 12:20 at Lingfield. Horse in question is who is the horse in question? John Jay, Mick Shannon trained horse. Had 2 spins already at Kempton. This is a piss poor novice, in all honesty. It's the type of novice, you win it, you can end up with a mark of 65. He's obviously had 2 spins already. Shown little, but I thought he showed a bit last time out. Slowly away, bit keen in rear. Was doing some nice late headway. Bishop kind of stopped riding, chicken wings out, and then came home. I think there was enough left in the tank there. Slow starts are obviously a concern, and the slight drop in trip. I don't mind the drop in trick angle. Physically looks like a sprinter. The Dam was a 5-6 furlong winner as well, and 60s Icon. There's plenty of sprinters that he serves up. The slow starts are a concern. 7 round Lingfield. Given the fact you can win it, you can win this and get a lowly mark, I think they'll be busy here and busy from the gate. Mr. Gloverman kind of had the run of things in a strongly run race. Blue Carachow, troubling running, but has shown his hand. Newcomers, yards and pedigrees hardly scream first time out winners. It's 33s with 1 firm, 12 across the board. I think anything double figures kind of half appeals to me. 2 points win, 33s to 1, yeah.
Incredible, yeah. I mean, it's what a price. Like you say, it's a maiden that might not take much winning. Obviously, the interesting one is the Kilt well, no longer the Kilt newcomer. He's done. He's finished. We don't know what me and John are going to be. We're marooned. We can't say anything anymore. And
we will.
So obviously the newcomer Johnson's obviously could be anything, but I like the reasoning. It's 33s. That's with obviously the Port Vale outfit are tremendous. Again, more plaudits for Port Vale going that price. That's 2 points win for Quentin. 60. I'm not going to crib a 33 to one shot because but 60's Icon on the all weather.
Generally not my favourite, but price kind of dictated here, and it was too.
Cold Henry.
Even a 12 to 1 was too big.
Exactly. Yeah, like Nev's adamant that Cold Henry will be best at Newcastle. So there we go. That's the trainer, I'm telling you.
60's Icon one there's been.
Yeah, there we go. It's just how it is. On the stats. But no, I like the pricing here. Quentin's trying to blast me out at ballpark because he's backed himself to win the Winter Naps table. So yeah. Good stuff, Quentin, to start round 2. I'll go next, just to change it up a bit. My second choice is in the Challow hurdle, the 3 o'clock at Newbury, and it's the Flimpers bet. It's get flimping and get doing it, and lose your accounts, do everything you can. Joyeux Machine in the Challow at 6 to 1, 4 places you'll get as well with Port Vale. And quite a few bookies actually offering 4 places in this. 5 to 1 would be just fine as well. I priced this up a little bit different to how the books did. I get the potential with Hermes Allen. I get that it could be a really, really promising horse. However, I didn't see any difference really in the form levels so far that Hermes Allen's achieved and Joyeux Machine's achieved, both in impressive fashion. If you watch Joyeux Machine at Fairyhouse, it was a very good performance, really eye-catching, and that to me, I think this is priced a little bit wrong. I'd be shorter. I wouldn't be entertaining anywhere near 5 or 6 to 1. I'd be around the 7 to 2 mark, and I think that's where I am. And I think this is a Flimpers bet, a good old fashioned Flimper bet. We can't beat them. So 1 point each way for me. 6 to 1. Stoke, Port Vale, your Toxeter, that kind of jurisdiction. Yeah, that's gonna hopefully do the biz for me in the Challow. John, coming to you.
We're unlucky fuckers, aren't we?
Why?
Well, we just are. I mean, most of the season we were all over Pocket the Profit.
Yeah.
Last time when I went in on Vespasian, Pocket the Prophet went and unleashed his true self.
Yeah.
And kicked us in the bollocks. Well, Vespasian runs again tomorrow. But with the added plus of Howling off and Buick on. Now, I'm taking that as a positive. I think he has the form in the bank to go very close in this. Those who want to can play it safe and go each way. I'm not. I'm going 2 points win.
2 points win, 3 to 1 with Billy Mountains, Johnny's best price currently.
Good grief. I thought it'd be about 5, but there we go.
This is like you morphing into Neville. This is what Nev says. It has to be about 6 to 1, doesn't it? And it's like 7 to 4.
I bet if I say the word wanker, it doesn't sound clean.
He doesn't. He doesn't. This is the thing, listeners. What do you think? When Neville says it and John says it, what John's is very dirty, but Neville's is very clean and very, very, very above board.
It just sounds like I'm watching Kylie in the shower, doesn't it?
Good grief. Yeah, or Madge Bishop or Harold Bishop.
Yeah.
Good God. Neville, I'm coming to you to finish the round, please, with dignity.
My second best bet of the weekend, and it's a horse that I know you like, Lee, and it's got to be Picard. I cannot miss him. I can't miss him. It's in the Newbury 150, 0 to 145 handicap. It's a quality race anyway.
Yes.
And he's a flatbred horse. He's not like the normal horse you get from the Skeltons. He's flatbred. He's bred by the Yaunton farm, who have their own sales once a year, which Goffs are in charge of, and I think they may have bred this horse as well. It's by an American stallion called Master Stroke out of a Dashing Blade mare, but he looks like a jumper. He's a big, strong, scopy horse. And the only time we've seen him this season, he won at Chepstow. He pulled hard. He didn't want to do that tomorrow because he's up in trip, and he looks like he's crying out to go up in trip if he can settle. But that race that he won at Chepstow, he beat Hullenbeck, who has gone on to show improved form. Master Chewy, who finished third, has gone on to improve. Time for a Tune, who finished 20 lengths behind him, has gone on to win 3 races. And there's one even further back than that. I think it's Ollie Murphy's horse, Butcher's also gone on to show improved form. He runs off 130. He ran to at least 130 that day, and he will improve for the step up in trip. I think he's got to win tomorrow. All right, his price is not going to be fantastic. He's only going to be around the 94 5-2 mark, but off 130, he's going to win. So, he's my second best bet of the weekend. Picard at Newbury.
Indeed, I'll probably echo those sentiments. 9-4, Ladbrokes Bet365 Coral. That's the price at the moment, and this for me is a 145 handicap hurdler. So, Neville, I completely concur, and I'll start off round 3 by getting the klaxon out. Let's do it.
Hang on. It's coming.
Here it comes. Here it comes. This sounds like Lang snoring.
Get the fucking vet out then.
He does. When Lang... It is. It's when Len comes round to mine sometimes. It's like if he falls asleep on sofa, that's Len when he's had enough company, Right. Anyway, klaxon time, and I'm not going to waste much time on this because obviously Nev said most of it. The form is ridiculously good. I knew this was a good horse. Dan Skelton also told a good pal of mine that this was going to be potentially a really, really good horse this year. So this is a real positive bet. Like you said, the price, yes, we're getting towards the skin, it's like the Masai Mara carcass where you're sort of like, you're in front of the hyenas and you're in front of the dogs, but you're behind the lions and the, it's that sort of price. I'd say it's about a 7-4, 13-8 shot for me. That's where I'm at. I expect Picard to win tomorrow and go on to. I wouldn't be surprised, Nev, if they go back in trip next time for the possibly Betfair hurdle.
Maybe. Could be on the agenda. It did look like the further he went at Chepstow, the stronger he looked.
But they usually go good pace in the Betfair, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Of course, yeah, they do in a race like that, yeah. He is bordering on, they've got the price. I can't see him being much shorter than 9-4. If he is, it can only be 2-1, surely.
Yeah,
there's enough danger. You've got several horses there. Lady Adair, who's never been beaten yet. The Henry Daly horse has won his last 3. Warranty seems to have improved for going for Gary Moore. There's enough for the bookmakers to hope that they could get him beat. That's why I can't see him being less than 2-1, really.
Yeah, no, great, but still 3 points on the nose for me to kick the round off. Right, Jonas Lane, coming to you.
Are you ready now?
Yeah. Oh, you want the klaxon?
Red, sir.
Here he comes.
This is definitely Lang on my sofa, definitely.
Klaxon bet is win the 150 at Newbury, and it's Paycar.
Oh my God, that's not a klaxon. It's a foghorn.
We haven't got a foghorn.
No, we'll put one in. We're gonna have to put one in. We've got a foghorn.
I've got Fanny Thomas.
You got what?
What?
I've got Fanny Thomas.
Or is it a body part?
Fanny Thomas was a character from Alan Partridge's Christmas show from a few years ago. And he was a man that was...
Yes, the cook.
Yeah. And listen, have a listen.
Nothing I love more than a hot, spicy stuffing. Oh, pardon.
I'm dying here. Oh, God.
You carry this stuff around with you now.
Oh, it was a fantastic Christmas show from Alan Partridge. That was Fanny Thomas, though.
Fanny Thomas.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate this when we're all piling into these favourites and what have you. In all honesty, we should probably put a bit of a gamble aware message out now, but fuck that, in fact. Right? Now, sell your vinyl copy of Big in Japan. In fact, sell your ass. No, ignore the fact that if you went into male prostitution, you'd have to offer a male deal. And get the lot on this tomorrow.
There we go. We love it. It's like we've turned into bloggers. 9 to 4. John Lang loves it. Neville loves it. I love it. Be great if Quentin loved. I don't know what we'd do. We'd all self-combust if all four. I mean, he won't do that. He's gonna go.
We've got a word for it, haven't we?
We haven't got a word. I know. Foghorn. We have. It's our very first bar stewards Foghorn, which is amazing. Quentin.
I'm going to split stake wanker on my last selection. One of them's the Klaxon with Johns. Put up the horse last time. Vespasian. Haviland did too much too soon. Did well to hang on for second. Went for the race like well handicapped horse and just picked off late. He's well handicapped. Buick's obviously a positive. 2 points win, 3-1 on that.
Yeah,
and then the second part of the bet is hopefully we can ruin their price. I think it's owned by Nick Goff and James Knight. So secret strength's been put in rag of the field, and it's just too big based on the all-weather numbers that he's put up. He's chased home Latin Lover, who went and won the Holyrood House in a decent time at Kempton back in June. Chased home Designer again, decent in the clock on April. Designer was off 82. It's now 97, I think, give or take. Pieces are off, so it may not be off it, but based on the numbers he's put up, he's well handicapped off a lowly mark of 78. He's more of an all-weather horse. I kind of think he's been saved for this sort of campaign. 1 point win, 25-1.
What better way to naff up James Knight and Nick Goff? Get in there. Yes, let's have them. Tremendous stuff, Quentin, right? So are you going 1.5 on each?
2 points win the Jolly.
Sorry,
1 point win the Rag.
So we've got 1 point win the Rag, and that's the 25 general. And 2 points win Vespasian at 3-1, which is also classed as a Klaxon. Eh? So we've got a Foghorn and a Klaxon, which is just easy. What a show this is to finish 2022. You know,
monkey each way double.
This is, the old-fashioned way, John. A monkey each way double, Picar and Vespasian. Shove it right up, right as far as it'll go. What a round, Neville! Can you crown this show by your 3-pointer?
Well, my 3-pointer is at Punchestown in the 157. It's a really good quality staying hurdle race. Although I'd rather have seen it over a little bit further, but it's 2 miles 3.5 furlongs, which I suppose would be the bare minimum for my selection. But he's got a great chance at the weights. Run for Oscar, who won the Cesarewitch for Charles Burns on his last start on the flat. He has been over hurdles subsequently. He went to Haydock for a valuable handicap, and he was fourth approaching the last, but he was left in third by a faller. But he was only beaten 5 3/4 lengths off 147. Now he goes back to a graded company, and this is not a strong race. You look through the opposition, and there are 3 horses that have to concede him £4. That's before you take into account Philip Burns' £5 claim, and Philip Burns is riding really well at the moment. That's going to be a big help in testing conditions. The ground officially described as soft to heavy at Punchestown. The 3 that have to give him £4, I don't think of any chance, any hope of doing that. And then you look through the opposition, you've got Any Second Now, who's almost certainly a better chaser than hurdler, and even at his best over hurdles wouldn't be within £10 of Run for Oscar. Jeff Kidder is surely going to need it, and he wouldn't have been as good as Run for Oscar over hurdles. And the only other 2 I could put up against him, Saint Sam, is a horse that doesn't boast anywhere near as good a form and was chasing last season. And Somerville boy looks to be on the downgrade, and he's now having his first start for his new trainer, Henry de Bromhead. I think Run for Oscar will win easy. I cannot oppose him tomorrow. Had it been over 3 miles, well, it wouldn't come off the snaff. But I do think, even over this trip on testing ground or over a staying course, he's got everything in his favour. So for me, my banker of the weekend is Run for Oscar.
Good stuff. 3 points on the nostrils at 9-4 again with Port Vale, who are just doing it. Absolutely.
Port Vale.
Yeah, more Port Vale.
Who are Port Vale?
Bet 365.
They used to have a different name to that.
Yeah, it used to be the Stoke Sloth, but then someone complained, so it's now the Port Vale Harlot.
Oh.
But then, if someone complains about the Port Vale Harlot, we've got another one. We've got the Potteries Prosy.
Yeah, that's quite derogatory, though, isn't it?
It is. I mean, we get mass complaints about this, saying we're disrespectful, and I've replied. I've said, tell me something we don't know. You know, it is what it is. But yeah, so
we sell with Andrew Tate the way we're going on.
I think so. I definitely think so. We'll be in Romania in some police cell, broadcasting live, of course, on Fridays and Sunday evenings. Anyway, that was a tremendous betting round. Foghorns and klaxons galore. Nev's come up with one in Ireland that Charles Burns might ask his Indian bookie to stop. And
that's Ronan. You've got the wrong.
Ronan as well, whatever. But anyway, Mr. Charles Burns, let's hope it does the business for Neville in the 2 miles 3.5 furlongs Punchestown hurdle, which is only 10,000 euros to the winner. And you take the 10% off, Nev, that's only like $9,000 to the winner.
I told you, faking him on Sunday, 0 to 110, 10 grand to the winner. We had one of ours entered.
They've got a lot of money in Norfolk.
Well, they can't donate it to fucking Hancock now, can they?
What's Towser going to do now, John? Anyway,
the food bank. That'll piss him off, won't it?
He'll not donate to that, John. We know that. Stop being silly. Right, we're going to go on to the TV action, and it's Newbury, Warwick, and one race at Leafy, which is the flat race, which is the Fillies Handicap. So, Quentin, you're our premium all-weather flat guru. What did you make of the Fillies Handicap?
I thought it was a horrible race, Lee, to be honest. It's kind of one you go through and you've got reasons to be against absolutely everyone on the field. No pace in the race. You suspect Wadaker Grace will go on with Norton on top. Morgan Ferry's not really put up figures on the all-weather and she looks slow, in all honesty. Off of 86 and the likely pace setup, I kind of want to be against her. Sunset Bay's not been in the same nick all season. Say, if you will, more of a 7 furlong horse to the miler. Crystal Cask was probably the one that semi-interested me with some decent back-end sectionals last time out. But again, are you going to get the pace set up? I haven't fallen down on a bet. Jilly Cooper, 7 furlongs. The form from Wolverhampton looks all right. The Varian thing, I think, runs on New Year's Day at Southwell and will likely win that race. She was the closest I came to a bet. I think it's 9-2 generally. If there's 5-11-2 tomorrow at some stage, then I think that will tempt me in at that sort of price. With Buick up, and he's got half a brain, so it gives you half a chance, doesn't it? But Morgan Ferry looks short at the top of the market.
I completely really agree with you. And that sounds like corny because obviously you've done plenty of work on the race. But when Jilly Cooper last ran here on it was in August, Jilly Cooper ran over the 7 furlongs here, and she had no right to win that race the way she did. It was slowly run, and she absolutely won with any amount in hand. I was surprised to see them go over the mile at Southwell. I didn't think the mile at Southwell would particularly suit last time, and I'm just thinking if she's going to get a mile, it'll be round here, where she can just quick. And there's some really moderately handicapped horses in here. Crystal Cask, obviously, James Millman puts up Oliver Searle. What I just think that they know that that's badly handicapped. In fact, James Millman was, I think he was on Racing TV when Kempton was on, and he actually won, and he said it was badly handicapped off 72.
Now it's off of what, 80 or 77?
77. So it's that kind of race. It's not a good race. So I'm with you. I'd go with Jilly Cooper if the odds on offer stand. John, Nev, anything to add on that?
They're all badly handicapped. None of them can win.
No, it's where they all finished third.
I'd just hope nothing wins from Kingsley House, because it'll be a crack one off anyway.
Yeah, it will. It'll be sickening. Watching ITV tomorrow would be sickening.
They'll have a win at tomorrow. I mean, Kelly could throw the window.
Right, over to Warwick. 135. This is one I've tipped in. Big price source of Ricky Martin's Lucky So and So, and the David Pritchard, who was obviously he's having a good time of late, winning the Welsh National and Two Amigos for an informed barn. Any views on this race, chaps?
I'm just trying to think. Look, see if I picked out anything for this race. No. Well, this Elizabeth Gale, she's looked quite good actually on Philip Hobbs's horse, Langley 100, and she claims a very healthy £10. This horse is improving, but he's only the same. It's handicapped a dead heat with Farmers Gamble on their last running when they finished first and second. So, but I mean, you'll probably know more about the race than I do, really, Lee. But I did read on the Racing Post website that Lucky So and So, that Nicky Martin said that the horse will outrun its odds. That's what she said. So
interesting.
But does that mean if it's 25 to 1, it's going to finish fifth?
Well, that's it. You don't. If they've got it 80%, like you would, Nev, you'd stuff it up everyone, and everyone. It'd be 22s into 10s. None of your money, none of your shrewd people's money, and then next time. It'd be cherry ripe, and you'd be in, wading in, and leaving everyone
5 to 4.
Yes, leaving everyone else with the 7 to 4. Disgraceful trainer. But that's the way it is. So, anything to add to that, chaps?
I thought one from Lama might go well with Ned Fox taking 7 up.
To be honest, I do like Matt Shepherd as a trainer.
Yeah,
most people sort of don't recognise probably Matt for his exploits, but he's perfectly capable of readying horses and stuff for races. They're quite shrewd. Obviously he's lad Stan Shepherd.
This is pretty consistent, isn't it, in the context of this?
It is, and if you've got sort of not-offs and things like that, and people waiting for another day, then this is usually races where this ends up usually being around like the price it is, because obviously of its consistency, and obviously it's the most exposed. Quentin, nothing for you on this? Are you letting the dog out?
Yeah, I kind of like your angle with the lucky so and so. It's the second start at Exeter, and they've kind of given it 2 spins since. But normally these ones are put in a lot shorter than like 22 to 1, like 16 to 1. Normally they're put in very defensively. So I kind of think they fucked up there, because they're an inconsistent bunch here. But no, absolutely nothing. I just like your angle.
Good stuff. Okay, we'll move on to the next race, which is the 210, which is the second race there on ITV4. It's the Conditional Jockeys Veterans Handicap Chase, and I've got a strong opinion here. Right, Go Steady is a horse I've never liked ever. In fact, I've made a few quid over time, striping him in running and stuff when he's trading short. He's a bit of a ponce, bit of a hound. And the race he won last time literally fell apart. Akeel fell at the first. Oxwich Bay, unseated right, was obviously hampered by Akeel at the first, and he's ungenuine anyway. So it left Go Steady to beat 2 rivals. West Approach was 12. He's 12 years old. And Stamp Your Feet is the one that was a trainer change from Crawford to Milford Slade, who can't train Ivy to run up a wall. So we're at a point here where you've got a 2 to 1 fav that beat absolutely nothing. Formerly it's turned into a bit of a go over time. Yeah, I couldn't have it. But 2 to 1, it's an enormous lay if that's going to be the price on the exchanges. Thoughts here, chaps?
Similar to your thoughts, to be honest. I'd Go Steady, as you said, poor form. Does he want 3 miles as well? I don't think he does.
That's the thing, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's before you take. I've got some, yeah, like you say, that's before you take into account the trip. Tried it before. It's not happened for it, but I think that's more down to the horse as well. The horse really doesn't. He's not happy with himself. Maybe I've seen horses that do win though like this, and then do bounce out and do it again, and just this is quite all right, but. He's never been a horse for me that I've always. When he's in the race and he's like 7-2 or 4-1, I'm thinking we've got an in here to the race. What else can we find? And whilst I'm not really looking for the winner in this, I'm just happy that they've made him this price, and I just hope he's going to be around that sort of price. The pink button is getting flicked, John.
No, that is a bad porno, isn't it?
Anyway. Terrible show. This. Anything to add in this veterans chase?
Yeah. If you let the dog in and then open the fridge and say you run out of patty, you decide you have to have a bet.
Yeah.
Have a daft fiver on the only one with no gear on, the King's Writ, because it'll probably make the running and you can get out at half the price anywhere. You
love that. You love 40 score. Just for a bit of interest, and then you chuck
out at 20s.
Yeah, Chucky. Yeah, you sat there thinking, well, I'm not bothered. I've got me 300 or 400 quid to now. Yeah. Rod's up to everyone else. Exactly. That could be a way to play that kind of race. Anyway, move on to Newbury for their TV fair. First race on the ICV card is the 115. It's the Coral First for Horse racing. Jesus Christ, what a terrible! That should be under trade descriptions. Handicap chase. 5-2 favourite is Gamma Ray for Venetia Williams and the drunk in the saddle, Charlie Drunk. 5-2-5. Lovely pair of hands though, Charlie. But to be fair, but
he's a great jockey, isn't he?
Yeah. He's a very good jockey, but. I do love stories, and I loved it when he told the policeman to fuck off and things like that. We love things like that.
Did he say that? I couldn't believe he'd ever say anything like that. He wouldn't rode one of a horse for me. He got unseated, I think, at the second or the third, and he's the most charming person you could wish to meet. I couldn't imagine he'd ever done it. He'd never say boo to a goose.
It's what the police said. They said he was a violent drunk.
I can't believe that. I can't believe it, honestly.
He maybe knows you haven't got a retained jockey now, and he's just charm his way in.
Yeah. It was a gentleman. Really.
Charlie Deutsch is really a gentleman and has a lovely pair of hands. It's modelled in the sort of Norman Williamson style of don't move, keep soft hands, keep soft hands, keep your hands on the reins, don't move, and find nothing off the bridle. Except the witch, John, has got the carrots. The carrots are back for Venetia, and
has the streak ended now? Though?
No. Winner today at Haddock in the bad ground. Yes, well punted.
Yeah.
Yes, no, the carrots are flowing. When they want them. Yeah.
She was quoted as saying in the paper this week she's not married yet.
No, she's trying. She actually said that's why people asked her about a dress sense.
Yeah.
And said, you turn up in some interesting outfits. Well, she said, I'm unmarried, so I'm still making the effort, she said.
Well, I mean, if she wants to get married, my number's on the website.
You've got meat and two veg.
She'd take one look at me and she'd think, well, he'd be down there like a Park Spaniel.
Oh my God! Apple clean rating this year still has, and I kid you not, we're proud of that mantle. And like you say, we do keep it clean. Quentin and Neville on this race. Any thoughts?
Venetia Williams' horse actually does it's going to take a chunk out of the market. And you just wouldn't know really. I mean, he's only run 3 times in his whole life. Once in a bumper, and twice over hurdles. So, is he well handicapped to 150? You would assume that they are going straight into an open handicap, so they must think he's capable of winning off his mark. I wouldn't have a clue, but she's such a tremendous trainer that you'd have to believe that it could be thrown in. But it does make the market. If you fancy something else, you're going to get a decent price. But I wouldn't have a bet, because for that reason, I know nothing about Gamma Ray.
I think that's it. Yeah, I think we're all guessing. Gamma Ray might be 135 this year. It might be just 110 round Ludlow. We just don't know. We're in the dark as a pod.
I don't think you get rich taking these on, do you?
It's one of them, isn't it? If the market's strong for it, you'd probably row in with it, because they'd know what they've got. But it's one of them. If it's like 7 or 2 4s on the or 100 to 30, you'd probably just like swerve it, because they'd know that they would know what they've got, I think, against these.
Would you not think that they've gone, if it must be a schooled well, because he's unexposed over hurdles. He's only had 2 runs over hurdles in his life, and he's won one of those and second in the other. You'd have thought that if he hadn't schooled well over fences, he'd have been straight up, he'd have stayed hurdling, wouldn't he?
It is interesting, because, like you said, they obviously, maybe that's what they've always seen him as a chaser. So it's one of them.
I also seen the owners as well. This must be one of their first jumpers, Kennet Valley Thoroughbreds.
Yeah, they must be looking at Cheveley Park and thinking,
if they think it's well handicapped, why has it changed owners? That's the
Kane and Andrew Brooks don't seem to have any runners this season, do they? They haven't had many. They owned the horse prior to the new connections taking over. I don't know, but Kennet Valley Thoroughbreds are a big operation. They put the money down, don't they? It's not as if it's been sold to Joe Bloggs.
No, it's an interesting runner. I would follow. It's one of those where I think you'd follow the market as a punter if you want to bet.
I'm concerned about the slight drop back in trip. Obviously, Fontwell's did finish. He was strong up the hill there. Not sure what do you think the ground's going to be? I know they got a bit of rain today. Soft.
I'm not sure with Newbury. It's a difficult one. Yeah, I'd go with that. I'd go with tacky side, which. But I always think Newbury's quite difficult. It's like Haydock sometimes. They'll give out soft heavy, and it can be good to soft, and vice versa. It's quite a track that. It jumps races. We've had a lot of non-runners at Newbury, haven't we, in recent times, because they've given it out as good to soft, and it's actually then you've traders moaning and saying it's good to firm. So yeah, right. It's a tough race to play. I think that's the consensus of us. We'll move on to the bet bundles. What's that? Gamble away. Coral bet bundles handicap hurdle. Does that mean you bet bundles, or they've got bet bundles? I don't know what that means.
Well, if you bet bundles, you've got to be gamble away.
I don't get it. Anyway,
you're gonna be skint soon, aren't you?
An awful firm, Coral. Awful. Right, foghorn time. So we don't need to say anything. Quentin, are you joining in on a foghorn?
Nothing more to say, is there? Of course, I'm running with that.
Yeah, it's all for. It's we like the Cambridge boat race, leaving Oxford behind, sinking at Fulham. Absolutely, yeah. Rowing in with Picard. Nothing more to say there. 2:25 race, the Mandarin, which I touched on with Neville. It's a bit of a sentimental race, the Mandarin. Like I said, I've thought in the past there was. Yeah, you used to have some really good horses running this, but I don't know. They mess around with things. I agree with Nev. I do like Nev's selection. I did look at this closely, actually. I'm thinking he's a bit in and out, but on his day, he's a good horse, and I think he's better than his mark. John, Quentin, thoughts on this?
I think Under Supervision has a decent chance. Actually, I thought. Well, I agree with Tristan Davis that the ground was probably tad on the quicker side last time. I think a little bit softer here will help. 8-1's fair.
Yeah. Quentin?
I didn't mind Grumpy Charlie, to be honest.
Yes.
He brings decent form to the table. Decent Newbury form to the table. Chasing home Brave Man's game when he last came here. He's dropped down a couple of pounds below his last winning mark. Jumps well, travels, not really much not to like. Challow for Cole I didn't particularly like. Race at Lingfield fell apart. I think the non-runner here got hampered. The favourite, Venetia's horse, that day fell early. It kind of appeals like just weak form. Double figures, Grumpy Charlie's good enough for me. Yeah, no,
Grumpy Charlie's horse I did like last year. And I completely agree. If he comes back to his best, he's threatening to all in that. Did you just mention that he beat a horse? Because I just was trying to find my gin while you were talking there.
He chased down Brave Man's game back in
he did, but do you remember the time before he beat Fernhill? And obviously Fernhill were 136. That beat Super Survivor at Uttoxeter. Super Survivor came out and beat Mr. Coffey at Chepstow recently. It looks. I agree with you. That's one to be interested in at prices. I think he's a good horse and a little bit underlooked here at 11-1. So that's a good one for listeners. I agree with that. Okay, the Challow. I'm going to sit this one out, and I'm hoping you all agree with me for some each way wankering on this. Skin the firms. Joyo Machine for me, Paul Nolan, John, Nev, and Quentin.
I couldn't put anybody else yours here. I think that is as solid gets each way.
I was surprised to see the deviance in price in terms of. I get the hype with Hermes Allen. I'm you can't be not fall for the hype in that the fact it's won a point to point.
Yeah,
it's been very impressive so far. But let's be fair here. When it won at Cheltenham last time, it did have the run of the race. They didn't go a good pace. The third horse that you like, John, We've All Been Caught, was it, in that race? That was just outpaced because they'd gone slow and quickened it up late. And he just stayed on after the Lord Mayor's show. So we're talking about a horse here that has got potential and could certainly be very, very good. And I'm not saying he won't be, but there are doubts at that sort of price range to play him. Neville?
Well, Paul Nicholls has been saying that he thinks this horse is not dissimilar to Brave Man's Game in as much as he didn't show a great deal at home, but after he'd had a run, his homework started to pick up. And the fact that they've put him... Well, he is a genuine graded performer already. I mean, he beat Music Drive. Music Drive, all right, he's probably not the best in Gordon Elliott's yard, but he's still a really quality horse, 130-ish novice. So Hermes Allen has been given on the back of that 142. You'd have to run to at least 142 to win this race if Hermes Allen turns up in the same form. So, although the price is no good to me, I'm not interested in an even money chance where there's so many unexposed horses in the race. I wouldn't want to be taking on Hermes Allen, but I couldn't really find a great deal. Paul Nolan's horse that you've mentioned, it's very rare to have an Irish runner in this race. I can't recall an Irish horse coming over for this race. His form looks okay. I wouldn't be getting that carried away with it, to be honest. I think Hermes Allen would probably win it, but only because he's genuinely proved himself at this almost this level. But you wouldn't be surprised if one maybe Crambo improved or Twiston Davis's horse improved. I mean, they haven't been troubled. Vicky Vale could be anything. It absolutely bolted up in its only run this season. But I don't know. It doesn't appeal to me as a betting heat at all. It's a race to watch and enjoy, really, for me.
Yeah, no, it is a dog out race kind of thing. Quentin finishes off on this race.
A small layer of the jolly for me. As you said, got the run of the race at Cheltenham last time out, kind of shown the best effects. I don't think Music Drive's 134. I don't think it's 129. That's blown out since. He's ended up with an artificial rating of 142. Hermes Allen. There's enough running for you. You get him in the book at 2.2. You've got field. You got 5 to 6. Then you get in the field. That will do for me. Or if not, the slide each way with the places.
Yeah, no, good stuff. Okay, the very last race then, which is the 3:35, which is the limited handicap chase over 2 miles 6.5 furlongs. Bold Endeavour heads the market for Popeye and Stonehands at 9-2. Thoughts on this, Nev? I'm coming to you first to start us off with your opinion on this.
I think this race is going to throw up plenty of future winners. It's a cracking novice handicap, this.
Yes.
And Bold Endeavour pissed up at Leicester. Never came off the bridle on his first run for Nicky Henderson. Was it his first run for Nicky Henderson? Yes, it was. It was with Laura Morgan prior to that.
Yeah.
But it's been put up £9 for that win, which is quite a tall order. The one horse that I thought was quite interesting, although he probably wouldn't be as sexy as some of the others, is the Paul Nicholls horse, Hallo des Obo, who had one run over fences, I think it was last season, and I think he fell, but they put him back to hurdling and he won at Sandown. There's no better trainer at putting a unexposed horse in a handicap chase. Paul Nicholls is absolutely brilliant at this, and the fact that he's put this horse in what I think is in the deep end on his second try over fences, his first try this season, I think he's certainly worth looking at. But it's a cracking handicap, really quality races.
I cannot add to what you've just said there, apart from, well, just a few others. Malinello of Ben Paulins. Just for you stats people that like a few stats, Ben Paulin's great off the bounce. A lot of trainers aren't. Ben Paulin is. He's well over 20%, and he's 27% with his handicap chasers off bounces, which, you know, people say, oh, they might bounce. Well, you know, be wary of that angle if you're opposing that horse, which was idling quite badly, I felt, at Newcastle. Didn't want to. Obviously, this is a step up in class, but he is very unexposed and always was going to be a better chaser than hurdler. So, but there's lots in here you could give chances to, like Nev's
Surrey Quest is interesting as well. He didn't jump brilliantly at Utoxeter, but you know, he's lightly raced and off 128. You know, it's just a race to enjoy, and there's going to be lots of winners to come out of this race for sure.
Yes, this is the few like sort of this side of the pond handicaps. This is probably one of the, like you said, Nev, one of the like real key form lines probably for the spring. Yeah. And again, we can talk about prize money again. Disgraceful Newbury.
Oh, $7.5 to the winner.
0 to 140, $7.5.
Yeah.
You know, all their houses they've built, they're getting fat off the cash.
Yeah.
You know, like from the sales of the properties. Disgraceful racecourse, Newbury.
I wouldn't run a horse. Would you run a horse if you had a horse paid 139 for $7.5?
No. I'd put, if I got an horse rate at 139, Nev, right? I'd run it 2/3 fit for 3 runs, and gate down to 124. I'd run it at a selling hurdle. Everyone thinks it's dead, and I'd have 130,000 to win 80.
Actually, just to change tack, I don't know if you noticed this week at Leicester, and I may be wrong, but I read in the race conditions there was a seller at Leicester which was won by turning something. It won by a mile.
Turning Gold, the front runner.
Yeah. The prize money was sensational, but there was only prize money for the first 2, which is very unusual. There was no prize money that's why I think everything else pulled up. There were only in the race conditions, there were just prize money for the winner and prize money for the second.
Yeah, and nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's why Sadiq didn't have a runner. With his 35 rated chaser that's 14 years old. Anyway, John, can you finish us all off with your view on this? And Quentin, of course.
Let the dog in.
Let the dog in. Quentin?
Surrey Quest with Bowen replacing Paul O'Brien was the interesting one, but as you said, it's a race to watch. Progressive Thoughts, one's for the Spring Festival, so watch the replays a few times, take some notes, have a look at the clock and kind of go from there. But if I was having a punt tomorrow on the race, Surrey Quest.
No, good stuff. James Bowen, of course, is different gear to what Nicky Henderson usually puts up in the saddle. Just think yourself lucky, punters, though. You haven't got Ned Curtis or old Jerry McGrath in the saddle. Those were the days. Oh, no, we've got to punt Jerry at 11 to 10. That was worrying times. Anyway, we hope you have a fantastic New Year's Eve. Have plenty to drink. Have plenty of bets. Get hammered. Hopefully win thousands on the Saturday. And don't forget to tune in on Sunday, because it'll be a sermon to remember to kick us off on the right way in 2023. That's all from me, John, Neville and Quentin. Bye for now.